see how to create a training in CareerLMS. So once an institution sign up with CareerLMS, that institution will get their own web application link. So here it says demo.careerlms.com. Let's say if your institution name is academic or something, and your name will be academic.careerlms.com. Any students in that specific institution can come to that specific link and log in with their own credentials to log in. But to create training, it needs to be either an instructor who can do that, or there is an admin user available for that specific institution who can basically create trainings. So right now I am going to log in as an instructor, and once you log in, you'll come to the home page with a dashboard here. So how to create a training? So for that, what we have to do is come to the catalog, and up here you can see since there is no trainings created by this instructor, there is nothing available in this page. In case if this instructor created any trainings before, all those trainings will be available in this page. Now our intention is to create a new training, so I'm going to click add a new training. All right, as we have seen in the previous beginning videos, the 5 different steps to create a training. The first is to actually create the training. Second step is to create the modules and courses. The third step is to create all the activities. The fourth step is to set the permission and adding the actual members. The fifth step is to actually publish the training. So this page is called a learning path manager. So you can see here, this will basically manage the path of the training. So if you look at here, we are going from this stage to the second stage, the third stage, the fourth stage, and finally we are publishing it in the fifth stage. So this page is all about creating a training. So this here, we need to provide a title for the training. So I'm going to say demo training, and I'm going to give a description for the demo training. This is a demo training. Now we need to set up the visibility. So by default it is semi-private, which is absolutely fine for any of the institutions, schools, or coaching centers, or anybody. This is the default settings, which is perfect. And there is a public option available here. So if a training is set to public, that means that user doesn't need to log in to your institution to attend that training. That will be available for anybody who visits your web application, and they can basically attend the training. The best example would be COVID-19 awareness training. So training, you can set it up and be available for the public to come and watch those trainings. And there are a lot of options out here. I'm not going to cover all of this right now, but just want to touch up a few main ones. And this requires validation. What it does is that even though we set the visibility over here, and if this is turned on, the requires validation is turned on, a student cannot directly attend that course or that training. They need to request access to start their training. So that is what this requires validation means. And if you have some categories you created, you can group them up here. So this is nothing but if the institution is actually an institution where you have multiple types of training available. For example, PSC coaching is available, entrance coaching is there, the school tuitions are there. So all those are considered as categories. And if you want to mention a specific duration for the training, you can mention up here as well. If not, we can leave that as blank. And if CareerLMS comes up with like a default certificate template, So if we need to generate a certificate, just select the default certificate, so that once the training is finished successfully by the student, the certificate will be generated for them and will be available in this achievements section for them to view it, and also the instructor also have the access to see all those certificates for the students. And then we can set an image for that training, so that when they see the image they can easily understand, here, what's this training all about. This would be sometimes helpful for some institutions. For example, yes, if the student needs to attend this training, they must finish another training with some specific mark, right? So only then they can attend this training. So that is a precondition. We can set it up here. So if there is a training already exists, you can keep on typing the first few letters and it should pop up. So for example, we have a career LMS training which we created. So yeah, you can set this. So if you set this like that, what is going to happen is a student won't be able to attend this training before they actually finish this training. So this is what the required trainings means. So, and again, that is not, it's all completely optional. So just the title and the visibility, which is marked as red, is mandatory in this page. I'm going to click next here. All right, so now we are good. So now we are in step number 2. So step number 2 is to define our modules and courses and things like that. So this is like an easy dashboard where you can create multiple modules and link them together. So I'll show you a couple of examples. I will create 2 modules in this training and then link them together. So for that, just click on this link up here. That will show 3 different options to choose from: course, instructor-led training, and module. Course means it's a big group. So if, for example, if this is a big training and there are multiple courses inside that training, so you can create a course and then create the modules inside the course. So for demo purpose, I'm only going to create the modules. And instructor-led training is nothing but, let's say an instructor must be present, maybe remote through Zoom or Google Meet or something, must be available for the students to attend the training. They can choose this, the instructor-led training, and it will ask the instructor for the start time and the end time, so that the students will be only able to attend that specific training at that specific point of time. So I'm going to create module right now. I click module and click create a new module. So I'm just going to give a name for this module. I'm going to say module 1 for demo training, and I'm going to copy this and put in the description. It's completely optional, as you see, just the name is mandatory here. And I'm just going to just put the same description up over here. And if there is an image available, please feel free to browse an image up here. I'm going to scroll down. There is nothing else important here. As I said, this is just a grouping. Module is just a grouping. But one thing which is really important is this multiple takes. So for example, there would be some modules that a student can take unlimited time. There would be sometimes some modules only be able to take 1 time, sometimes 2, sometimes 5, sometimes 9, and sometimes unlimited. So this is something, you need to be aware of it. If you have the flexibility, if the student has the flexibility to attend the same course multiple times, or the module multiple times, always do the unlimited, so that they can come back again and then redo it. They can come back again and redo it, kind of. So those are the main highlights in this page, and you come down and click save. All right, so now we have module 1. So I'm going to create one more module here. So just click on top of this menu bar here and click add again. And then I'm going to create one more module, and I'm going to name it as module 2 for demo training. And that's it. And I'm saying it's unlimited. It's fine. And I'm going to save it. All right. So if you see here, it linked together, right? So like this, you can create n number of modules, and then we can manually tweak these links, so that This will tell the student that you need to finish this module before you actually start with this module. And you can make this module as mandatory so that they cannot skip this module. The student must attend. So our CareerLMS system doesn't allow them to skip this module because we set this as mandatory. So I'll just set that as mandatory for now. And another thing you need to keep in mind is that at least one module must be set as mandatory. If you have, let's say, 10 different modules here, and you need to at least select one module as mandatory to proceed to the next step. All right, and one more thing is the minimum score to validate step. This is something that we can set, like you need to have this much score to move to the next module. All right, I'm just going to click next here. All right, so now we are in the third and the fourth module all together, bundled together. So here is what we are going to define all the activities. So this is a main thing which is very important to build a specific training. All the previous steps what we did is just like grouping things together and laid out things together. So for example, if you look at here, there are 2 modules in this training, right? So that's the only thing which we have defined so far. There are no activities so far. And this activities bank is something that, for example, if you have a list of activities already defined in the past, you can reuse those activities. So we don't need to just create it again and again. So just for now, I'm going to click add activity, and I'm going to add a video activity. So you can see here how many different types of activities are available in CareerLMS. You can choose anything you would like to prepare a module. So some of the unique ones with CareerLMS is the drag and drop feature. For example, you need to prepare a question where the student needs to drag something from left side to the right side, and they needs to drop it in the right places to validate some of the questions. That is absolutely possible. The fill in the blanks and essays, question set, questionnaires, timeline, true false question, and all those things are available. So I'm just going to add a video here and click the new activity. All right, so here what we can do is we can actually, if you have a video which is already recorded in your smartphone or in camera or somewhere, and if that is available in your laptop, you can just click here and browse that video up here. Or you can provide an external video if that link is available. For now, I'm going to use an external video. I'm going to paste the video URL here and just giving a name here. So I'm saying demo video activity. So keep these terminologies in mind. So this is an activity. So we are creating multiple activities in a specific module. And you can click next. That's the only thing which is really important here. And now we have one activity over here, which is a demo video activity. So let's add one more activity. So this activity, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a question to the student based on what they have seen in the video. So for example, I'm saying, okay, true false question, and I'm asking the video which you watched CareerLMS. And you can actually, this is just a name of the activity, so you can write the details in the question here. So once you come here, I'm just going to say the video which you watched is about CareerLMS responsive design YouTube video. All right. Now you need to set the right answer for this question so that the system will know, hey, this is the right answer. So I'm going to say, hey, true is the right answer. So in case a student click false, they will get a negative mark. But if they choose true, then they will get a positive mark. So that's what this means. And now you click next. All right, awesome. So now we have two different activities. One is the demo video, and the next activity is actually a question based on that specific demo video. And each of those scores are 10 each. That is a default score. If you want, you can just change it by editing that specific activity. And let me quickly add one more activity here in the second module as well. I'm going to say it's a slide. Slide activity. This is a content for slide activity. All right. If you have any PDF that is, or any files you need to attach, you can do that. So, and then click next. Okay, so now we have two different activities and there is no exams or anything we have set over here, but if you want you can do that as well. It's completely optional, but we would always recommend an instructor to do that, so that we will know whether the student actually looked at this slide, also if the student also looked at this demo video. So again, so now what we have done so far is that given a title and a description for the training, then we define two modules in the second step, which is module 1 for demo training and module 2 for demo training. And then in third and fourth steps combined together, we just added all the activities for these two modules. And I'm going to click next now. All right, so here is the permission thing which we were talking about earlier. So by default, instructor will be able to access this training. So if you want to add any new members, you click on add members and then start searching the name of the student. So for example, we have a test student called student, so he will come up here. And another thing is, if you look at here, there is a group available here. So what does that mean is, for example, from the tuition center perspective or from a school perspective, you can create like groups for each classes. For example, standard 1, standard 2, standard 3, all these are like groups. Each of these groups, you can link the specific students to that group, and whenever we create a training, instead of adding one student at a time, we can just select that group, and by default all the students belong to that class will be able to access this training. So you can manage the groups from settings up here, and if you look up here, that is called a manage group, so you can go there and you can set up all the groups up there. For now, for the demo purpose, I'm just going to add this student for this training. And if you click notify user, and if this student has a valid email ID, the student will actually get an email alert saying, hey, you were enrolled in this specific training, so please log in to CareerLMS and attend the training. So I'm not just going to do it right now. And then finally, I'm going to publish it. That's a final step. So I'm going to publish this. All right, so the first training is ready. So if you look at here, this is the training. This is only one training available right now for this instructor, and this is the summary of the training. It'll say, hey, this is the training content and this is the module. These are the different modules available in this training. So this way, the student and everybody basically have access to look at this training, can look at the complete summary, the course structure for that specific training from this page itself before they attend the training. And if they want to attend the training, they can just click start and that'll let them attend the training. But this is how you create a training. And if you go back to the catalog again, you should be able to see that training up here. And since there was no images attached to this training, that's why it is pulling up the default image. But if you have any images, you can attach up there.